allow me to welcome you to the new podcast, episode number 132. My name is Steven. I'm joined as always by producer and co-host extraordinaire, my man, Kelly. Let's get to it.
Hey man, I'll be right back. I gotta get some gas and toilet paper and milk.
How topical.
ASAP.
What a wacky week we've had here in the lower mainland of British Columbia. For all those who are not from this region and are not living underneath these gasoline restrictions and food shelves being cleared out of everything from milk to chicken breast to everything, we had a flood so bad all three highways wiped out leading into the lower mainland of BC. Wacky weekend filled with anxiety for me myself, but the trucking industry always finds a way. We're loosening restrictions so we can at least cross the border without any tests, and especially coming up in just at the end of the month, we will be allowed to enter America and come back from America with no tests, so we can get our gas, get that Tillamook cheese and milk. I do love me some American milk and cheese, the best steroid-ridden milk you can find this side of the Mississippi, I tell you what. But it's been odd, I can tell you that much, to have, be going through all this shit. Storm after storm, and then to have such a storm, Kelly, that wiped out not one, not two, but three highways, all leading to us. I hope you don't have anything, any packages scheduled coming in from the other side of Canada, because they ain't coming for some time. They are at least letting trucks through now. At least they found, they've most of the highways they can let, except for the Coquihalla, they can let single lane traffic through at least. And essential goods, obviously, every truck is coming with essential goods. These aren't truckloads full of dildos. These are truckloads full of food and other products that we need. And it really, it's kind of crazy how much we're taking for granted. Obviously gasoline is the hardest hit one, where we are being rationed on gas right now. I've never experienced that in my life. Never experienced a storm like this in my life too. And I went out that weekend too. I went to Mission that weekend, came back, and I took the low heat highway, which was unaffected. If I would have taken the number one, woo doggy, would I have ever been affected by it?
I think the limit right now is like 30 liters per day. That seems like a lot.
Yeah,
My wife's vehicle is like a 40 liter like subcompact car. That's like how much it holds, or 50, something like that. Like that's almost full for her every single day.
Well, it's just very unfortunate because it seems like they have really lit the fuse on the panic buying with that. I didn't notice before they put the restrictions on. The gas stations were being used normally. Now that there's restrictions, the gas stations are packed.
Yeah, everybody has a full tank for once in their life.
And everyone I think is hoarding now. You put a restriction on anything, people are going to hoard it. Yeah. Because they think it has some kind of resale value. Yeah. And people are just regular scumbags. That as well. They only think of themselves, not of the greater good. I think that's about 90% of the pieces of shit down here in the lower mainland that have only thinking of themselves, not giving a fuck about the next person, or anybody else for that matter. And I guess I've never seen the gas station so full now. People don't need that much gas. You know what I mean?
And I think it's overblown. Like, I think that, a lot of our gas stations are U.S. gas stations. They're coming from the U.S. anyways. I know, like, Alberta's cut off and we got a major oil supply over there. There's going to be a backlog for sure. But they can just replenish it through the U.S. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. I think people are, like, panicking over nothing. It's the same with the food. Like, it can get here from the U.S. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. Toilet paper, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once again, I don't understand what always the fascination with toilet paper is, Kelly. It's always like, I can live without a lot of things during a crisis, but wiping my ass is not one I can do.
And another thing too is like the Vancouver docks are open.
Yep.
They're taking shipments all the time. Amazon warehouses in Richmond, like it's not cut off from anything in the lower mainland. Everything should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, we'll be fine if everyone didn't panic buy.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's the problem. People are going in and buying $1,000 worth of meat. I need
all the steaks.
Exactly.
All of them.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, nonetheless, it's been interesting. You know what I mean? It has been interesting. I've had a little bit of anxiety through it. You know what I mean? Through the first stages of questioning, you know what I mean? That type of thing. But I've been at ease recently just because of that. I can go to the States. I got a ton of food already. I didn't hoard. I didn't panic buy.
Yeah.
I've just been, buying what I need. I cooked up a bunch of chicken breasts the other day, but rather than waiting in the next week, I replaced those chicken breasts the next day. You know what I mean? And I didn't buy 20 chicken breasts. I just bought 4. You know, I just bought enough to replace what I had just used the day before. And for the most part, I think most stores are okay, but other stores are getting absolutely cleaned out.
I didn't even panic buy gas. Like, I have a huge jug that's completely empty because I don't give a shit. Like I said, I think it's going to come in from the U.S. By the time everybody fills up their tank and they need new gas, like, it's going to be back. Like, I don't get it.
The one thing I do like is the government went out right away and said, no reselling of shit. Yeah. And no price gouging for anybody, for any corporation. No one can price gouge right now.
Yeah, resale is illegal. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been ridiculous. You could imagine there'd be bags of gas being sold the next day. Garbage bags of gas. Buy it before it erodes the bag and spills all over the floor.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just like that, though. You know what I mean? People are going to be wasting gas. People are going to be wasting milk.
Yeah,
you can't keep this. You can't keep shit. I'm sure people are panic buying bread and other perishable items that are just going to go to waste because number one reason they're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a good call. It's kind of like saying, "Hey, there's an endangered animal, so everybody wants to go out and shoot it so they can have it on."
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the same theory. Like, let's get rid of it, but I want one.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
absolutely disgusting. And it's just that's who we are, the human race. But we'll get through it. You know what I mean? The roads won't be open for quite some time, like fully open. You know, we got a travel restriction again. Learned a lot of interesting stuff. Just, the floodplains and the Sumas Lake, which is around here, or a lake that was formerly a lake, and just how it turned into a floodplain so that if a disaster were to happen, that they would be flooded.
Yeah, I learned about that too. I had no idea.
Me either. Yeah, me either.
Was like a lake, and it used to be an indigenous like fishing ground, and they hunted a certain type of bird. I forget what it was. But it hasn't come back to the region since they drained Chilliwack Lake. But they used to hunt that as well. And yeah, so they drained it and they have all these pumps. But actually what they're doing is they're building like a ravine or something like right beside the freeway. I forget what they called it. A
dike.
A dike, basically. Right beside the freeway. So if it floods again, it's not going to hit the freeway. It's going to flow down.
Yeah.
I kind of like the lake. I almost wish they could build around it, but I guess we need that farmland, especially with how many people that we have in the Lower Mainland now.
That's what's crazy too. Just like our egg production, most of the 80% of the egg production is down here. A lot of milk production. At least there's the milk. A lot of the people, they've come out and said the roads were beat up, but the trucks found a way. The trucks found a way to get in and out. Milk's going to be coming, but that isn't stopping people from panic buying it. But
one thing I never got is why cities won't allow homeowners to have chickens. Like, if you have a house and you have a yard, okay, they cluck a little bit, but they're not roosters. They're not gonna like make tons of noise. Yeah, sometimes they can stink, but if you're cleaning up after them and whatever, you got your own egg supply.
Of course.
Right? Like, it doesn't make any...
I think it's just bad apples ruin it for the bunch, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You allow people to have 2 chickens, they're going to have 20 fucking chickens.
Yeah, there's going to be, like, chicken breeders.
Yeah, exactly. And they're crammed. They're going to have people cramming them, stacking them in fucking shoe boxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah, it's probably to protect the chickens.
Exactly. People fucking ruin it. Why do you got to ruin shit, people? Everyone, you give them an inch, they fucking take a mile.
Yeah. I'm just saying that because I used to have
of course.
chickens.
No, exactly. For
my
sure.
yard was pristine because I clean up after them.
Well, exactly, and they help out with the gardening as well.
Yeah, they eat the bugs. And
exactly.
Everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's just one of those things. And bottom line, humans are disgusting people.
Yep. 100%.
But you know what, Kelly? We can't let that beat us down. We got to be the shining light in the darkness. You out there have to be the shining light in this darkness. Do good. You don't have to do better. Just do good. Yeah. And you know what I mean. You see shit go down, and just be the voice of reason. And you don't have to fall into that through that pit of evil just because everyone else is doing, or you've been wronged, or you feel you feel angry over it. Kill them with kindness. That's what I always say. But, wow, enough of that, though. Lots to talk about this week with tons of MMA news. And fights that went down this Saturday. Great fight. Good free card. Finally was on TV, not on the communist faction of Fight Network, the Fight Network, where the fuck it is. They got whatever Dana's fucking shilling out these days. That son of a bitch. The Fight Pass is what I'm looking for here. Played a lot of video games. Been really finding some good video games to play. And boy, oh boy, did I ever have a run-in at a Starbucks. We'll break that down near the beginning of the show here. But without further ado, Kelly, let's get to some MMA news. One of the most interesting announcements is Frank Gore, former NFL running back, will be taking on Daron Williams, former NBA player, for a 4-round heavyweight boxing match December 18th on the Showtime undercard of the Tyson Fury brother versus the YouTube brother and Jake Paul. Should be very interesting matchup here with Frank Gore coming out and saying, hey, he's got teams are offering him money on the table, Kelly, to come back to football. The dude is a timeless wonder, just an absolute anomaly of a athlete in a sport that beats up people so hard, especially at the position of running back. Dude's 38, which is absolutely unheard of for any player to be playing that late, with the exception of a quarterback or an offensive lineman in the NFL. Dude is 38 and was still being offered money. I think he's like 4th or 3rd all-time rushing yards as well. So this guy's no slouch. And here he says, no, I'm not. I'm going to be a professional boxer at age 38. Hey, this as they say is, your strength is the last thing to go, and this dude is tough as hell. I think the only thing about it is going to be the height differential. You got a running back up against an former NBA player, and Frank Gore's 1.75 meters. I wish stupid-ass Wikipedia would give me feet here. And Daron Williams is 1.9 meters. So it's quite the difference. So, yeah, he's only 5'9". So Frank Gore's only 5'9", very average height. Daron Williams standing at 6'3". So, 5-inch height. I could only imagine the reach advantage is going to be gigantic as well. Daron Williams, I'm not a huge basketball star. I don't got a basketball fan. I'm not against basketball, but I just don't know a whole ton about it. But the dude was highly touted. Same age though, almost 37, born in 84. He went in the first round, 3rd overall to the Jazz. Just stopped playing in 2017, so he had a pretty darn good career. Ending his career for the Nets. Or no, he ended his career in the Cavs and the Mavericks. So, the dude's a good player, but still going to be very interesting here that he's going to be going into boxing as well. Or is this just one of those things where they tried to find another guy to another celebrity, a sports athlete, to go up against him? And I guess they found it. But, I'm going to watch this one. I probably won't even watch the main event. I'd be more interested in the Frank Gore, seeing how he turns out. Like I said, this is going to be a very, very tough one. To be able to overcome. They're putting up against a huge ass dude, Kelly. That reach advantage, they don't have that listed, but the height advantage is going to be gigantic. I think it all depends on how much boxing he's been putting in. Obviously, both these dudes don't have any professional record. They don't even have an amateur record. But it will be going down. This fight will be going down, and only time will tell what really happens. Do we see this guy? That's the worst part about it. You don't want to see one of these guys get, knocked out badly and get unneeded brain damage. Really, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, Kelly?
Oh, do you?
No, that's his whole plan. How he made it throughout his football career with so little brain damage is pretty interesting as well. But here we go, going to be going down December. Mark your calendars for this one.
Nah.
This should be very interesting. All right, here's a side-by-side pick. Not too bad, Kelly. It's not a huge.
Yeah,
it's not huge. It's
DC
still pretty
John
big.
Jones.
So, pretty much.
DC was 5'10". John Jones is 6'3". So
I think so. Yeah.
5 inches.
Yeah. Exactly. Very similar. Exactly. Very similar. Let's see what happens. You know, this is funny because out of all the Jake Paul fights, this is one I don't give a fuck about. Really, big whoop. You're fighting another like super low level amateur boxer, basically. Yeah. No one really cares, and the guy's once again way smaller than you. No one really cares. I care about this match though.
Oh man, they should get the average height of the person that boxes Jake Paul.
Oh boy, yeah, I know, eh? That's hilarious.
And then compare it to his. Well, he's like 6'1".
I think it's a little taller than that. I think
because his brother is pretty damn tall. His brother's taller than him. I forget.
I think so. Yep.
But yeah, Jake Paul is pretty big too. He's a big boy.
Still, he knows what he's doing.
He was bigger than DC, I think. When they were, like staring at each other.
Yeah. Knows what he's doing, roiding up as hell and calling out people who are not in his profession.
It's funny when DC like went up to him and like talked shit, and like Jake Paul like didn't look scared or anything because he's talking back.
Yeah, he kind of was, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's like I know what DC was trying to do, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, that's always a double-edged sword. Approaching somebody when you're trying to be tough like that, you know what I mean? That's a double-edged sword. We've seen it time and time again in MMA.
Yeah.
Where you're either, because you're not going to scare the guy in public.
Yeah.
No matter what, he's going to talk back. But you just better hope that talking back doesn't get you fired up more.
Yeah. Plus, there's a guardrail in between, so you're not going to take him down.
Exactly. Exactly. No takedowns allowed. Moving right along, also in the celebrity boxing realm, we will see Tyron Woodley potentially taking on Dan, the Outlaw, Hardy in 2022. In boxing, apparently going to be a professional boxing match. Everything's been agreed on. The weight class, the venue, the amount of money they're going to make, which is supposed to be actually quite substantial, the type of gloves they're going to wear, and all the stipulations. The only thing that hasn't happened is Tyron Woodley hasn't signed the agreement. But they've agreed on everything else. Dan Hardy signed his end. Tyron Woodley's still waiting for some reason on his end to not sign the agreement. I think it's a matchup that makes total sense for both these guys right now. Dan Hardy looking obviously to make a paycheck, as would Tyron Woodley. But are they going to be garnering pay-per-view buys, Kelly? I couldn't see this being the main event of any kind of organization. Mm-hmm. But, you know what I mean, when you hear the likes of Tyron Woodley, that's kind of the reason why the UFC just let him walk. Is because he wasn't, you know what I mean, getting asses in seats. Was Dan Hardy? I think a little bit back in his day, but it seems like it's been a decade, if not more, since Dan Hardy has ever stepped into any kind of professional combat ring.
He is still an announcer, and I think he still has a following, just like in the UK or whatever. But
I think so too.
But who knows? Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a huge seller. It's not like Conor McGregor or something.
Exactly. I think it's just one of those weird things where, you know, I mean, two dudes didn't have nothing to do and agreed to fight each other, except for Tyron Woodley just still has to sign on the dotted line. I'd watch it. That's the thing. As an MMA fan, I would 100% watch it. But are other people, boxing fans, are they going to be tuning into this? Or is the casual fight fan, are they going to be tuning into this one? You know,
casual is definitely not going to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think so.
There's no way. Most of the people think that Tyron's like washed up a million years ago.
Yeah,
that are casual right now. I heard so many people say that Robbie Lawler was like fucking just like a senior citizen, like should not be fucking fighting anymore. He was a champ not too long ago.
Yeah.
And then they say TJ Dillashaw is the fucking future when he's like 38 himself.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
It makes no sense.
Oh man.
And then Glover just got the belt. like age to some people it's just a number. Like to your Romero,
of course,
it's just a number. It doesn't.
Of course,
shit.
Yeah. Everyone's different. Everyone's built different,
yeah.
and people age differently. Some people are late bloomers. Some people are early bloomers.
Yeah.
everyone ages differently, especially when it comes to it, and we've seen a perfect example of it. You know, sometimes, you know, I mean, how much tread they put on the tires, or how much wear they put on that tread of their tires as well. Right, that's a huge thing as well. Did Dan Hardy's reset help rejuvenate some of his stuff?
Yeah.
Did he just add 10 years to his life by taking a break from MMA? Only time will tell. Either way, like I said, I'm thinking I'm definitely gonna enjoy watching this matchup. It's tough to say who's gonna take it though. You know, we haven't seen Dan Hardy forever. Tyron Woodley's at least stepped into the boxing ring. Didn't look great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? I'd like to see how they size up. That's what I always say. That's what I always say since day one of the show. I want to see how these two dudes stack up in the stare down. What organization is going to be underneath? Who the fuck knows? Like I said, it can't be a headliner. I would love to see another celebrity type fight go on this. We're seeing tons and tons of these celebrity type fights, man. It's getting crazy.
Tyron Woodley's turning into like the next Bob Sapp, where people just hire him to beat the shit out of him, and he's like, he looks big and intimidating, so it's better for the record, I guess. The
problem with it, I think Bob Sapp was making more money getting knocked out 8 times in a row than Tyron Woodley would ever make for getting knocked out once or twice in a row.
I wonder how much you made from the Jake Paul fight, though. I bet yours quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, a few million for sure. You know, and then after, you know, pay-per-view buys and all the other shit.
But he definitely won't make that with Dan Hardy.
No, not at all.
That's probably why he won't sign. It's like, oh, you get a cut of the pay-per-view buys. He's like, well, there's my mom and dad. I think my brother might buy it.
He's asking for codes. Can I get a code for a free pay-per-view? I'm like, no. We need all the buys we can get. Either way, it should be interesting. It should be very interesting. Huge actual fight announcement coming down the pipe here, where we will see Thiago Moreta Santos taking on the rising star of Magomed Ankalaev. Will headline a UFC Fight Night March 12th. Already seeing some cards far in the future here, Kelly. And I like this matchup. I think it's a huge matchup for Ankalaev. You know, dude's been really beating the crap out of everybody. Had a few, you know, very tough battles. You know, obviously his Ian Kutaloba, double fight where, you know, he beat the fuck out of him. Obviously coming off that huge win over Volkan Olzemeyer. As well, Thiago Santos having a hard time, you know, finding traction, getting that, you know, in that very close win over Johnny Walker recently as well. So this is an awesome matchup at 205, and I think it's going to be a stepping stone for Magomed Ankalaev. They really want this dude to make it to the top here and to be the next, to be one of the next top 5 up and coming stars. And they're giving him one hell of a test. The gatekeeper, the quintessential gatekeeper of 205, who has, you know, after that knee surgery, he's just never been the same in Thiago Santos. But I really like this matchup. 2 banging dudes. I think they're going to plug the shit out of this one because it could be fireworks. It easily could be fireworks. 2 dudes who aren't going to shy away from the firefight and who are both very, very gifted on the ground as well. So, you know, when you see 2 guys who are good on the ground, you know, you're not going to really get a bad fight. You're not going to get the one guy lying on top of the other guy. You know what I mean? Because one guy's terrible on the ground and the other guy doesn't really know what to do on top. So both these guys know what to do on top. Both these guys know what to do on the bottom. And they both especially know what to do in standing up in here and striking. And I really love this matchup. Got to go Ankalaev for this one. I got to go with the hot hand. Even though Moreta is also coming off a victory. You know, I mean, his was less impressive. I think than Magomed Ankalaev really beating the shit out of Volkan Olzemeyer. And going down to March. That one's got quite some time before that will even be going down. But you know, I mean, it's that time of the season already. You know, December's just around the corner. All the fights are set for December. January's starting to be announced. And you know, I mean, I don't even think they've even announced a card for February. But it just was, hey man, I'm gonna be remembering this one, and I'm gonna be tuned in and very excited come fight week when this one is gonna be filled out. And finally here, to wrap it up here, we got one hell of an announcement. Speaking of celebrity boxing, Triller coming out with Triad Combat. It will be going down next weekend, Kelly. one hell of a weird card. They've really been in the news a lot recently, most notably for being sued by another company that came up with the same idea of the triangle ring. Here, Kelly, I guess another shitty-ass bare-knuckle boxing organization came up with a triangle ring, and now they're trying to sue them. You know, sue them over the ring style. You can't patent a ring style. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, everyone who uses a normal square ring, everyone just suing each other over that? You're using a square ring. Boxing uses that. Well, so does wrestling. So does kickboxing. Yeah. So does everyone else. You know, it's just one of those weird, very, very weird things. But either way, it's going to be an interesting card. They kind of had a breakdown of what the rules are. It's kind of a hybrid kickboxing setup is what they got, where they got kind of open, bigger open gloves, more like sparring gloves. Really, Kelly, they do have the open palms, but the fists are much, much more padded than a normal MMA glove, where it's more like the shield padding rather than the single finger padding. Even though it is open, you can do spinning back fists and like rabbit punches and shit like that, but you can't do any. You can do some clinching as well, but you can't do any kicks, no elbows, no knees, no takedowns, shit like that. So it is kind of boxing, very weird.
Fill it full of sand.
I agree. Wow. Yeah, fill it full of sand.
Just see huge
with glass shards.
Glass shards.
Now you're talking.
You can dip it in glue and glass.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Fire. But the card is actually quite spackled here with former MMA stars. And Frank Muir will be headlining against Kubrat Pulev. Matt Mitrione, Meathead himself, will be taking on Alexander Flores. Platinum, Mike Perry taking his crooked nose to this one as well against Sakio Biko. Derek Campos, recently getting released by Bellator, taking on Brian Vera. And Albert Tumenov taking on Scott Sigmund. Stephen Graham taking on Henry Gigliotti. And there's even a women's fight on the opener as well. Very interesting. But what the weird thing is I had to look up who this guy Frank Muir is fighting. And Kubrat Pulev. And this dude just fought for the heavyweight title in boxing just recently. And in last December, it was last December 2020, getting KO'd by Anthony Joshua. So he's taking on a very, very tough dude who only has lost to Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko. Those are his only losses, Kelly.
So Muir has a good shot. Ankle lock.
You ain't going to be able to knee bar this guy, Frank Muir. And especially, it's basically like Frank Muir's like second, he wasn't bare knuckle, which was pretty, was pretty bad.
Yeah.
He didn't look terrible in it, but now he's taking on an actual very professional Bulgarian boxer with only 2 losses on his career at heavyweight. Should be very interesting. I'll say that, to say the least. I will be watching this one for sure going down next week. For the Triller organization, will we have many music stuff going on? We'll find out. We'll be going down in Arlington, Texas at the Globe Life Field Arena. Even Matt Mitrione. What Matt Mitrione shows up? Does the dumbass meathead that protests about losing his mouthpiece every 2 seconds? Or we see the one that actually, has a sticky jab and is known for, really putting people on their asses? And Mike Perry, too. I'm going to tune in for Mike Perry pulling into this one here. It was kind of always weird. Mike Perry wasn't really known that much, in my opinion, for his boxing. I thought, when he got in trouble, he would end up going for the takedown right away. I thought his takedown game was actually pretty good.
You know what's sad? All the names that you just listed, I could see them all as the next, bare-knuckle death.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Wow.
I'd hate for that to happen.
Wow.
But I could see every single one of those people.
Frank Muir, he has, that nasty jaw break a few years back in Bellator.
You got dummied by Shane.
Yep. He's been dummied a bunch of times. I could totally, I wouldn't rule it out. They're not, they're still hovering at that spot where they've had knockouts. Mm-hmm. Where they've been knocked out is what I mean. They're really hovering at that spot where they've been eaten up so much punishment over the years that, your brain's a ticking time bomb when it comes to this. And now it is still boxing. At least it's not bare knuckle again for these guys. But for our enjoyment, we will see blood. No, I agree. Let's hope no one dies, Kelly. Frank Mir, man, what did he do to have to keep fighting? Not invest his money very well, I guess. I feel for the dude. I thought he was, was getting paid pretty well, but yeah, you know what I mean? He lived a fast lifestyle back then.
I think Nate Diaz is probably making more than him, than he was at least. Like, UFC's pay is so shit when you find out what they actually make.
Oh, that's for
sure. But,
like,
back when he got sponsors, at least he was making a little bit more.
That's what I'm saying. I think he had so much sponsorship. He was, especially when he was champ, he was all over everything.
Yeah, and then they probably cut his sponsorship, and he's like, shit, I'm going to have to fight forever.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe he had a bad divorce or something. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, let's get right into it here, Kelly. Back by popular demand, reviewing the reviews. I gotta paint the picture here, man. The worst experience I've ever had in my fucking life in customer service, Kelly, with Starbucks. I'm not being a Karen or a Ken or any of that type of shit, man. I'm in customer service myself too. And I always give them the benefit of the doubt. But there's one place I fucking detest. I never go there. I will say one thing, you know what I mean, that if it wasn't for Starbucks during my trip to New York, I probably would have starved to death. There was no fucking restaurants open in fucking the Canadian airports except for Starbucks. So I could at least get a sandwich and a drink or something like that. But this was the absolute worst. I never experienced some sort, and they always fuck me around. Starbucks is always so fucking busy. I fucking order ahead. It's for my wife. We order ahead, and every fucking time I have to wait. And sometimes it's not uncommon that I have had to wait 15, 20 minutes for a fucking coffee. It's happened to me a bunch of times, and it will never ever happen to me again. We go to our Starbucks in our neighborhood. Place the order while we were leaving from shopping to where we needed to go. It took me 5 minutes to drive from the mall to the Starbucks. So I said, you know what? I'll wait another 5 minutes in the car. Wait another 5 minutes in the car. So 10 minutes has elapsed since we first placed the order, since the order had gone through on the app. Walk in, said, hey, I'm here for such and such's order. It'll be just a few minutes. No problem. No problem. And I can see as I walk in, there's a ton of people in there. And I can see they have like a little thing where there's letters, letters for each person's mobile order drink. And I can see a few drinks, but there's one drink right near where the baristas would make them. And it's not out. And the sticker with the person's name on it is fully facing away from the front, so I can't see the sticker. So I'm like looking up when I come up to the desk. I don't see. There's one drink. I don't see the drink. But when I physically ask, "Hi, I'm here to pick up for this person," they say, "Oh, we're just making it. Just be a few minutes. No problem." I'm waiting there. 5 minutes goes by. 10 minutes goes by. And now I'm seeing everyone that was waiting with me is long gone. And not only that, other people who've already placed the order have picked theirs up and are gone as well. 15 minutes goes by. So now I've waited for a total of 25 minutes. And now I'm getting a little agitated. 26 minutes goes by. I even look. So I go up to that one. I went up like in between that 15 minutes. I went up and I look. I can't see the name on the fucking thing. I can't see the name on the drink. So just in case it is my drink, I can't see the name on it. I look on the left-hand side. I look on the right-hand side. The sticker is in the exact spot where I can't see it. Finally, the last minute, the 26th minute has come up, and I go up and I'm now leaning my head over the counter here, Kelly, just to get a look at this drink, because my drink is still not ready. Other people have come and gone, and I can see the first two letters, and I'm literally leaning over the counter to see it. And I can see the first two letters, and I said, "Is this the one for me?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." And I was so fucking mad. So the drink was there the whole time. The drink was there when I first walked in, but I went in and asked, since I couldn't see the fucking name on it, not only did you give me the wrong fucking information, you had the fucking drink set up so no one could have ever seen the fucking proper name on the fucking tag of whose drink it was, and then you say, oh, sorry. When I came up and asked this exact same person, saying, is my drink ready, and you gave me fucking dumbass information, that tag was never there. That tag was never there, but yet you still decide to say it's coming right up. When it wasn't coming right up, it was already fucking made. And then to say, oh yeah, sorry. 26 minutes of my fucking life, Starbucks, you will never, ever take from me again. I am fucking, I decree at this moment, I will never step foot in another Starbucks as long as I live. You have stolen the last second of my time you will ever have the actual pleasure of stealing from me, a paying fucking customer. I was furious, man. I wanted to fucking drive my truck right through the fucking front window, dude. I had never experienced such a fuckery. I would have rather they spat in my face, spat the rest of it into my drink, and then handed it to me, rather than having me wait in a packed Starbucks waiting room for 16 minutes after I'd already waited 10 minutes for the fucking drink to be made. For a coffee drink, Kelly. It wasn't some fucking triple pump this, half that, soy that. It was a simple fucking mocha. It was a simple mocha made with coconut milk. That's all it was.
Did you get a new one at least?
No.
They gave you that cold ass one?
They're like, yeah, sorry. See ya.
Fuck.
Here's your cold ass drink. It's been sitting here for fucking 25 minutes. Bye.
Fuck, man.
Never again, man. And I'd refuse. I always said to myself, too, if I were to get COVID from anywhere, knock on wood, I haven't had COVID, or at least I don't know of. Like I said, I think I got it in, December of 2019, before we even knew what this fucking was. I will be getting COVID from waiting for Starbucks with fucking 20 other people, all waiting for their fucking drink. So mad. So you know what I'm going to do this week? We're doing Starbucks. We're doing the one in my neighborhood, too, this fucking piece of shithole. So mad. Like I said, they've stolen my time, Kelly. Stolen my time.
I don't go to Starbucks.
The worst part about it is I had food. I went to the food court to get food for my family, and now my food has been waiting there for 25 minutes as well. My food was fucking stone cold by the time I got home.
Fuck.
I was furious, man. Absolutely fucking furious. Let's do this fucking overpriced fucking bean water motherfucking shithole of a fucking place, man. So furious. And here we go. It doesn't take long here. It doesn't take long here to find a bad review here. JJ 5 reviews. First, so this one here has 4.2 stars out of 344 reviews. This is a small one here, Kelly, and it's got a lot of reviews already. This one here, the counter person on November 16th. This one is really recently too. 5 reviews, 5 days ago. 1 star. At 8:30 was rude and didn't show any willingness to help a customer who had issue with her mobile order. She didn't even try to look at the customer's app and tried to find what happened. She was totally ruining customers' morning with miserable service. Kind of weird they're talking like third person. It's kind of weird. But I agree. It's like no one acknowledges you. You walk in, they're like, oh, hi, who are you here to pick up for? You know what I mean? Simple thing like that. Rather than having to come up, all their eyes are down because they're making a fucking million drinks to say, oh, hey, just to get people out the door. That's what you want to do. You don't want to have fucking 100 people standing in there all waiting for their fucking drink. Come in, greet the person. Who are you here for? Oh, it'll be right up. Oh, actually, it's right here. Here you go. Have a nice day. Dipshits. Someone saying a night's location. Very untrue. Oh, that's weird. What the hell's wrong with these? Ugh, this looks disgusting. This is GH. This is a newbie review here too, Kelly. And new podcast, newbie review. One review, one photo of this. It looks like it's curdled milk in this fucking thing.
Nasty.
2 months ago. I asked for a pink drink with white foam and it tastes horrible. as if I had the same drink several times before, but this time it was horrible. Money wasted. Very poor review, but look at this, Kelly. It looks like the milk is curdled. That looks disgusting. It looks like you got rotten milk. Pink drink too. That's what you ordered. The pink drink. Here's a person. Exactly what I said here. AT, 2 reviews, 1 star, 3 months ago. Very bad. We mobile ordered. They took 20 minutes for the drink. My kid was late for school because of that. That's because, like, usually, like, I drive my wife to her friend's house before I come and do the show. I couldn't do it. Like, I had already kind of created rules because how bad this Starbucks is. Or I do not go to Starbucks if I'm in a rush. If I have to go to the Starbucks before they're coming to the show, I won't do it because time and time again, I have honestly had to wait at least 20 minutes for my drink. And when it's already been mobile ordered.
Wow.
And so, like I said, 26 minutes was the last straw. Another person saying it's very slow. Washrooms are dirty. Get your shit together. Best location ever. Everyone's just saying slow service. Terrible service. This is definitely not Starbucks. That's Tim Hortons. Okay, that's that's interesting. Someone, what the fuck is this? Here we go. MJ, another nasty one. 24 reviews, 1 star, 3 years ago. Went to Starbucks this morning and ordered an extra hot, non-fat vanilla latte and a lemon loaf. Ended up with a warmish latte and a very dry, broken lemon loaf. How can you serve that? How the fuck can you serve that? Some of these fucking people here, man. Someone mad that they were chatting. This is weird. No, this is very weird. Someone posted a photo, but I don't think the photo is the right photo. I gotta read this one. AS, 9 reviews, 5 stars a year ago. I get it right all the time. It gets real busy at this location, and they don't lose their cool, and they keep it together. But still can give you a minute to help on the app. But look at the photo they posted. It's like the photo of like a woman and a man on a train. And it's like a picture of an actual printed out photo. It doesn't make any sense at all. I just love this. This one's pretty funny. This one's a weird one too. GW, 102 reviews, 16 photos, 3 stars, 2 years ago here, Kelly. I am addicted to the Nito cold brew. I'm not a Starbucks fan, actually. I prefer McDonald's coffee, hands down. But the Nitro cold brew is the bomb. Very weird to say you're addicted to coffee as well. Very, very weird.
Get a better addiction.
I know.
Get it. Cool.
What a basic bitch. Coffee addiction. Get out of here. Go get a real addiction like heroin, meth.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, you pussy. Another person saying it's slow. Somebody else saying they didn't have any coffee ready. Like, how do you not have coffee ready?
I love that, but a basic bitch.
Isn't it?
Oh, fuck. That's funny.
Well, that's what I was wondering maybe too. Maybe was it too loud in there and the person didn't hear me say the name, but they still would have said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't." What did you say? You know what I mean?
Like look at the fucking cups.
Very weird.
Or if you don't know like how to spell or read, maybe a different job.
Yeah. Let's round off with this one here, right. Kelly. SM, 4 reviews, 3 stars a year ago. This was just weird. This was just very weird. My mom went to Starbucks to get us a drink. I ordered a pumpkin spice latte, but when my mom brought it home, it was not filled all the way to the top. But my mom's chai latte was filled all the way to the top. That's not acceptable.
How full was it? Was it like 99%?
I know. Can you give me a number here? Like, it may not be filled all the way to the top. Yeah. But come on, gotta give me a number here.
Yeah. Like maybe like a 5% is acceptable.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, you know, I don't want it filled to the top.
Yeah.
I don't. You fucking it'll totally spill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it doesn't create the proper seal with the cup. You know, it's rattling around. You could easily get it to spill and loosen and shit like that. Yeah, I don't want that.
That was a 1-star review.
I know, but it was 3 stars. I know. That's what I'm told. I agree with you, Kelly. This person's getting 1 star. And why you got to mention your mom in it? Why you got to bring her down?
It's like the guy who's like, I got 3 kids at home.
I know. Very weird.
Yeah.
And then to say like, oh, hers was filled to the top. Why wasn't mine? Hers has trust issues. Starbucks, I hate you, but that's why I felt good afterwards because I'm free. I'm free of this evil, Kelly. I may go through a drive-through. I have loop arounds. I may go through a drive-through for Starbucks, but I will never sit and wait.
Yeah.
Step foot into a Starbucks store as long as I live.
Yeah, make sure you can block off the traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't moving till I get my drink. What? It's not like a fucking burger or like something from a fast food restaurant. It's like, oh, we're still cooking in the meat or whatever. It's like, no, it's coffee. Just pour it.
Yeah, you fucking just pour it. You shake it, add some of the shit. Yeah. Fucking done.
Yeah.
The fact that 10 minutes. I can say 10 minutes. You know what I mean? At the most. To make a coffee drink, 10 minutes. If it's any longer than that, this is just hang it up. Call it a fucking day, because you guys can't do your fucking job.
I just buy these like Nescafe instant mochas and lattes.
Oh, nice.
And shit. Yeah, you just pour hot water and you don't have to fucking wait.
You know what I really like is I got a little espresso machine.
Yeah.
I really like it a lot. You know what I mean? A good little, because you can do 3 different sizes on it. Yeah. You do like a small, like a super concentrated shot of espresso.
Shit.
Oh, man, it just perked me right up.
How much does something like that cost?
Well, I got it a few years ago. Like, I was getting shit from this dude who would buy pallets of abandoned crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then he would sell it all. And I think I got it for like $100. I think it's worth like $450 normal. Yeah, it's really nice. It only takes an espresso pods.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like some like Italian knockoff one. But man, I haven't had it. Comes with a frother too. The milk frother is really cool too.
Shit.
And you can do 3 different settings of small, medium, large with it. And I haven't had a problem getting the pods. And I love it. Yeah, I really love it a lot. It's really all the different flavors you can get and shit like that. It works great, and it's especially on the weekends I'll use it. You know what I mean? Get a little shot of espresso with something, and man, I'm ready to fucking game for an hour or two. Perk you right up. I like the smell of it too. I think that's what the coffee always brings, is the smell of it. But Starbucks, you can burn in fucking hell. Oh, that just about wraps that up. Let's take a little break here. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Do you like to wait a super long time for something that's already made and just needs to be poured into your cup? Do you like terrible service and overpriced shit? Well, we got a place for you. Starbucks! We're everywhere. We're terrible. We're the birthplace of hipsters. So you can thank us for that as well. Starbucks, terrible service, shitty bean water since 1985. You're welcome. Starbucks, we're so bad that people would rather go to Tim Hortons than come to our shitty fucking terrible fucking place. Tim Hortons, somehow better than Starbucks.
Do you need nuts but not sure what size to get? Come on down to Bofa and we can help you out. Both of these nuts.
And while you're eating those nuts, try some Ligma almonds. And be sure to wash those salty bastards down with a refreshing glass of high-quality H2O. Sharing it with your bros. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials. And go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water in the house. You know I'm talking. Tap water. Let's talk some motherfucking video games. Boy, oh boy, the last little while have I ever played a lot of Fallout 2, Kelly. Really getting it done in the game. Absolutely loving it. And I was having a hard time in the beginning. Obviously, that's the reason why I think most people, I want to say 75% of people, didn't play the game. Incredibly hard in the beginning, ridiculously hard in the beginning, and you die a lot. You got to save a lot, so that when you do die, there's no big deal. And man, oh man, I finally got to the point now where I'm, just really wrecking shop now, and I got a car now, so that helps for the traveling and shit like that. Little by little, but it's like traveling to one spot. Okay, this place is too high of a level for me. I can do everything I can do here. On to the next place. I can do a little bit here, but I can't do everything. On to the next place. You can get a bunch of shit. The one thing is there was like kind of an exploit that was always in the game too, Kelly. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, got fixed. I guess it's good though, because I couldn't use the exploit in NCR, the New California Republic, which is like one of the major cities. There's you go into this place, and there's a dude saying he's gonna kill himself. He's one of the cops in the town. He's saying he's gonna kill himself right in like kind of like the pumping and generation station, and you can't really talk him out of it. So he blows himself up and damages the computer. You can repair the computer. Which my repair is high, so I had no problem repairing the computer, but there's a glitch where you can constantly keep repairing the computer, and every time you do it, you get experience. And so you can just endlessly repair the computer and get experience, and the girl also gives you books to read, too, so you can learn and read through the stats, but they fixed it so you can only do it once, so that was okay, whatever. And but the one kind of it's not really an exploit, but it's kind of a way around the game where there's certain shops where you can kill the shop owner and take all his shit. You know what I mean? So there's a shop in the den where you can kill the dude and take all of his stuff, and there's also one in New Reno as well, and that guy's got tons of stuff. So that you can kill that dude, get all his guns, all of his gear and shit like that, and really have a good setup to kind of help yourself out throughout the game. But what I mean? So it was the really cool part about it, Kelly. I hadn't played the game in so long, and I had played the game probably 20 times over when I was a teenager, and I finally get to the vault. So my vault so you got to go down in New California Republic. They tell you, you got to go to the Vault 15, and in Vault 15 there's a computer that'll tell you where Vault 13 is. So you go to Vault 15. Surprise, surprise! It's overrun. It's the Raiders have taken up in there. You got to go in there and kill all the Raiders, which it was kind of tough at first, and kill the Raiders. You talk to the computer. The computer will tell you the coordinates for Vault 13, which is just on the other side of the NCR. It was a tough battle too. I did die a few times. I had to restart a few times just because there's so many dudes in there, and you get some cool shit. You get a lot of experience from that mission, though. Tons of experience from that mission, because not only did you clear out the vault, you also find out there's a traitor that has been giving the Raiders information from the NCR. So you get it was like 2 levels I got up right from there. Go over to Vault 13. You open the door, and it's overrun with Deathclaw, but they're intelligent Deathclaw. And it's kind of been like a hodgepodge of people who've kind of been stranded and lost, have all found their way to Vault 13. You get in there, you find the Gek, which is what you need for your village, and so I boot all the way up to my village, and they've been killed. They've all been wiped out by the Enclave. And you talk to the guy, you get all this other shit, and so now the Enclave is on my map. Also, this military base is on my map too. So that was another perfect example. I did a bunch of other shit I couldn't do before, swept through a bunch of other towns, did shit I couldn't do. Now I can do that. And now I went to this military base, and it's filled by fucking super mutants who are just far too strong for me at this moment as well. But I had managed to do enough to get into there to steal enough shit. And it was kind of an interesting one to get into. Just such a game light years ahead of its time is this one here. So did as much as I could, leave, and I go to the Navarro Base. And luckily enough, I go into the Navarro Base. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I'll walk in. And I'll save before I walk in, see how well I do, and then just leave. But I got super lucky with my attacks. Ended up killing all the dudes in power armor. And there was like 3 dudes I had to fight in power armor. Beat the fuck out of all of them, as well as all the other soldiers in there. Boom! There's a set of Enclave power armor, and somehow I can wear it. Before in the past, you needed to be a part of the Brotherhood of Steel, go through the training so you can learn how to use power armor. Boom, I got the power armor. Now I have 9 strength now. My strength is through the roof. It gives all, I'm basically invincible now. Not totally invincible, but really, normal people just cannot fuck with me now at all. So that was a lot of fun. So now I've So I got the power armor. Once again, I go back to a bunch of other shit that I couldn't do before, and then I come, because I'm kind of doing the stuff for Vault City right now. I've kind of been focusing on a lot of the, really finishing all those missions. And one is to stop the flow of jet to Redding, which is a mining town which supplies Vault City with coal. But since this coal supply has gone down because everyone's addicted to jet, which is like a super addictive drug. And so I go to New Reno, I get this mission to go to this to go where they're making the jet, and I get the dude who's making the jet. He's just this kid called Muir. He's just like a teen, because Savant who's invented jet and other drugs and stuff like that. And you convince him to leave to come with you. So I go back to New Reno and they instantly attack me. And sure enough, it's funny because Muir ends up getting killed by a prostitute. And I couldn't, he was off screen, so I couldn't save him. And I couldn't, because he ran for it as soon as the prostitute started stabbing him. It was shitty because my buddy Sulik accidentally shot the pimp. And then all of a sudden, all these prostitutes are attacking him and attacking me. I had to go and help him out because they knocked him to the ground. We're fucking him up. Yeah. So, meanwhile, I'm fighting this huge mob boss and all of his cronies. And then here I got to go save Sulik from all these prostitutes. It was a super crazy battle, tons and tons of stuff. But I get back to New Reno and someone stole my car. My car got stolen, but there's a whole mission for it. It's a whole mission for it. So I had to talk to this dude. He's like, I didn't see you. And you start threatening him. I know you saw it. Take me to where my car was stolen. And I just go and murdered those dudes in cold blood too for stealing my car. And I've killed a lot of people in the last few days here in the game. And so that's kind of where I left off. Hopefully that stopping the guy inventing, unfortunately Myron died, but killing the family who was supplying Redding with drugs, hopefully I've stopped that. It's just a game. It's a turn-based game here, Kelly, from the 90s. And it has all of his politics and shit involved. So I don't know if that has done it, because it is the mission to do it. I don't know if it... I got to go back to Vault City to see if it has done it, but... really loving. I got this cool dude who is kind of a Deathclaw from the Vault 13, who they ultimately got all wiped out as well by the Enclave. The Enclave went there and killed everybody as well. His name is Gore, though. He's a Deathclaw that wears like a cloak, so no one can really see what he looks like. He's real badass, but he can't wear any armor, so he really gets chewed up by dudes sometimes. So I may have to leave him eventually, because I haven't been finding out if I go into a big battle, I actually leave him behind. He's awesome for killing like small things, just because he does so much damage with the claws and shit. But he comes up against a guy with a semi-automatic, they're just chewing him up for 50 points a turn and basically killing him shortly afterwards if I can't help him out. But loving the game. I got tons of cool secret shit in it, special shit, and having the car is a super nice attribute too, because it has a trunk where I can hold all my crap in it. I just got endless supply of cool weapons. I'm starting to move into plasma pistols now. I've been using the hunting pistol for a long time too, which is just my bread and butter right now, because I just made my guy so he could only use single-handed weapons. He was better with single-handed weapons, and I do lots of criticals and shit like that too. So it's it's game's a lot of fun. Almost at the end, and I can't wait to play it fully. One game I've been kind of getting that itch, because I'm playing Fallout, and I'm playing Hunt Showdown with my buddy, but he's not on all the time. He's been busy this week, so I haven't really been playing that much Hunt Showdown, which is super super fun. Great game. If you still haven't checked it out, check it out. Awesome game. Very unforgiving though, that's for damn sure. I've been playing. I downloaded, because it was on sale this week here, Kelly. Still in game preview mode. Satisfactory. Downloaded it because it was $23 on Steam, and what an interesting game. I checked it out because my brother had been playing it, and the reviews are through the fucking roof. Overly, I've never even knew that was a thing. Overly positive reviews. Didn't even know that was even a thing. So, I think that's the highest you can get. And just a simple game, a simple survival game where you crash land, but you land on a planet, and you basically have to mine it for its resources, building factories, building different chains and conveyor belts and different things. So you eventually you're doing everything by hand at first, just to get your processing up and running, and then you'll build like a mining thing to turn it into certain items, and then you'll build a storage facility as well, all connected by conveyor belts, and oddly fun. You can also fight. There's on these planets there is animals and monsters and shit you fight. There's not really a big part of it, but there's no rhyme or reason. It's just you're building stuff to unlock more stuff to build. That's really it. The landscapes are amazing. The landscape is absolutely beautiful. Like I said, the different monsters you fight is very interesting. You do see like different other fauna and flora that is interactive as well. And just a simple game where you need energy in order to power all your shit. So you need like power plants and crap like that to be able to power all your stuff, to be able to mine resources, to build stuff quicker, so you're not doing it all by hand, to eventually upgrade your main base, to be able to unlock new things. That's the gist of it. But it's oddly fun. It is oddly fun, and I can see why people would just lose hours and hours of the day just building and building and building shit, and just looking for that next resource. Like I said, $23 is well worth it. I've gotten that much fun out of it alone, and I'm actually enjoying it. Fully multiplayer too. You can play with 4 people on a map, and it's like a world. You're playing on a world where it's limitless on that planet. A little bit kind of like I guess like any like kind of like a cityscape game. I guess I've never really played any of those games. And No Man's Sky, because all the different materials you need to mine and the different materials you need to use. And then with those materials, you turn them into different products. Obviously, whether it be plates or rods or screws. That's it. That's absolutely the gist of it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend anybody out there to give it a shot if you've seen it. Like I said, the only reason why I even knew about it and why it probably came up on my feed is because my brother plays it, and because he's friends with me on Steam. It's fun though.
Nice.
One thing I also purchased this week, I traded in because I have 2 electronic drum kits, and I don't need 2 electronic drum kits, so I traded in my old one at Long McQuaid, even though I bought it over, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago is when I bought the thing. And, love Long McQuaid. If I can give them a plug for what a great place. If you don't know what the hell it is, it's a music store here in Canada, coast to coast. They have stores here, not in the States. They're just a store that sells guitars and drums and DJ equipment and shit like that. But they've been around for a very long time. And it's because I think of how they treat their customers. I've been a part of them since I was a little kid, first getting my first drum set, which they basically said, you've rented it for so long, you own it now, just keep it, don't come back with it. And to where I've bought my first electronic drum kit from them, and ended up selling it back to them. I think I bought it for like $600, sold it back to them for $350.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I know. And like 7 years later, you know what I mean? That's insane.
Not bad at all.
No, so I used that to trade to, and they gave me 70% of what it's worth. So they gave me, they're going to sell it for like, for 100%, what it's worth, but they gave me 70% of the value.
Yeah.
That's insane. So I bought with trading it in, I bought a Akai MIDI Mini MK3 synthesizer. Super cool, Kelly. It's got like 8 pads. It's a small keyboard with 8 pads on it as well, dials and knobs to adjust your sound effects. I thought it could stand on its own, but it doesn't. You have to hook up to a computer, which is cool. I was hoping it would stand on its own, but it doesn't. No big deal. Whatever, I can use it on my computer. So it says it comes with its own MPC, and it's like, I think it's MPK is the program it comes with as well. MPK Beats. But man, when I first opened it up, I'm like, oh my god, how the fuck do I even use this fucking thing? So watching videos and reading through tutorials, figured out how to even get the thing. It was actually missing a setting. One of the settings was disabled so that it couldn't use my MIDI player. So now I've got that up and running. I can play cool different beats. It has all these different cool sound effects built in, whether it be pop or jazz or R&B or, house music. And it create, then you obviously, record songs, make songs, record songs, shit like that. It's really a lot of fun. My kids really enjoy it a lot, and then I got it up and running. And of course, they want you to buy tons of programs, but I've been very, very happy with just having the one that came with it for free. I think it's more than enough that I'll ever need. It was really shitty because it kind of came with like this cool thing my kids really loved, and it taught you how to play piano. First 48 hours was free. now they want you to pay. You can only play for 5 minutes a day after that, and then they want you to subscribe too, right? $16 a month. They want you to subscribe to this music learning thing. So I said, fuck that. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really having a lot of fun. There's nights when I can play video games or play on this thing, and I'm dicking around on this thing, just coming up with cool beats and making cool little songs on loop and shit like that. Really, really enjoying it. It's really a lot of fun. It was well worth the purchase. It was $150 with tax. So at the end of the day, I got $100 for trading in my drum kit, and I got and I got this thing as well. Kind of like video games. It's kind of like video games. What about you, Kelly? What you get up to this week, man, for games?
I actually haven't played much of anything. Like just a couple of games at Apex here and there. But I've been watching a show. I believe it's on MTV, but I've just been watching on Amazon Prime. It's called Yellowstone. The way I describe it, I don't know if you ever seen Sons of Anarchy, but it's like the Sons of Anarchy of ranching. It's pretty gritty. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. I don't really know how much I could talk about it, but I watched pretty much every single episode up until another one comes out today on Sunday. So they have a new one every Sunday. But it's pretty awesome. The main character is Kevin Costner. He's like the father.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that the one with Kevin Costner?
Yeah. And then he has like a couple sons and a daughter, and they just get in like to all kinds of trouble. It's basically like little battles for this ranch. It's not what I expected at all. It's awesome. Like I said, like Sons of Anarchy of ranching is pretty awesome. The only reason I watch it in the first place is because I kind of like the ranching thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, let's see. Like, who knows? Maybe it'll be interesting. But it was like beyond what I expected.
Nice. That's the best when you go in with low expectation and blows your mind.
Yeah. So a lot of twists and turns, not what you would expect. But,
it's like wealthy landowners going up against each other, right? Type thing. Is that what it's like? Or they're trying to steal his land type thing.
Yeah. Because Kevin Costner, he's like he has a ranch, but he's not like a wealthy landowner. It's pretty much like passed down generation to generation. Oh, okay. And like ranching doesn't really generally make a lot of money. Yeah. But all these different entities want his land for like developments or just like reclaiming it back because it used to be like native territory.
Oh, crazy!
So like it's just like an all-out war, and it's super cool. Nice. Highly recommend it.
You know what? I watched a movie this weekend as well that really blew me out of the water for amazement was Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus right now, free on Disney Plus with The Rock and Emily Blunt. I thought it was gonna be terrible. Really good.
Rock just came out with another one on Netflix too, man. He's just like throwing them out there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Check it out if you're on the fence and you think it's you're a guy like me, think it's gonna be a lame ass movie. I really enjoyed it. I watched it about. It's kind of like it's funny because it's based off the ride in Disney, the Jungle Cruise ride in Disney, and it's about Emily Blunt. She's like a kind of like a scientist, kind of explorer. Okay. And they're looking for the kind of like the secret of youth type thing, the fountain of youth type thing. But it's like these petals that are supposed to be able to cure anything and make you live forever. And so she's looking for it. But so is this it's kind of takes place in like 1910. But so is like this German Duke type dude as well. So they're both trying to look for this, and then they come, they go down to Brazil, and The Rock is kind of like this is like a tour guide for this area, and I don't want to give too much away because it really took one hell of a turn that I did not see coming, and it was very, very interesting. So
must be pretty PG on Disney though, right?
It is pretty PG. There is a lot of fighting and blood and funny shit like that, okay. But a lot of good CGI, but it's good. Like I said, it really shocked me how good it was, and it was great for the whole family. I think that's what I thought took away from it. I enjoyed it. Obviously, my kids enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. We all really enjoid it, and there's a lot of funny moments and a lot of intense moments and twists and turns. I highly recommend it. I'm not a movie guy, and I really enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
Well then. Get to some more gaming next week, but let's get to the main event here, and let's talk about UFC Fight Night 198, Viera versus Tate. Good card. A lot of decisions, but I thought there was a lot of gritty fights in this one too. There was one finish, Kelly. One finish the whole night. But it wasn't terrible. It absolutely wasn't terrible. And I went crazy on my picks, too. 9-2, I went on my picks, man.
That's why you liked it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yes, my guy won.
I wasn't super excited with most of the fights.
There was some fast forwarding. There definitely was some fast forwarding. I didn't see the Pat Sabatini versus Tucker Lutz fight. I didn't see that one. But that one was Sabatini I picked. He was a huge underdog. And I thought, like, how is this guy underdog? This guy's tough as hell. He's on a 5-fight win streak. Coming out of fucking ATT Florida as well. Rafa Garcia getting a big win over Nathan Levy. That's a huge one for him. What was the other one too? The one I did lose on, the only other one I lost on, with the exception of the main event, was Nerdambika Shamalian versus Sean Soriano. I did not see that one going down. Luana Pinero beating Sam Hughes as well. Big one. Well, this was a tough one too. I don't know how this went split decision, but man, this was probably the best fight of the night. Was Adrian Yanez versus Davey Grant. Did you catch that one, Kelly? What a battle at 135. Those guys were just throwing leather the whole fight. Yeah. It was really that was a really good one though, man. Yanez was really, crazy boxing versus kickboxing, I thought, in this one, where Yanez really beat him up in the first round. Davey Grant came back in the second round, and then the third round was all Yanez. Man, what a fight that was. The Ronnie Yaya fight, I definitely fast forwarded to the last two rounds. That was Kung Ho Kang. He was doing awesome on his feet. Really papping him with some heavy shots, but on the ground, he had no way to get off his back.
Yeah,
really bad off his back, and he loses. But I won on that one. Talia Santos getting a huge one over Joanne. Now she's just Joanne Wood, and I thought, well, that's weird. Why is she just because it used to be Joanne Calderwood?
Yeah.
Why is she just Joanne Wood now? How did she drop the Calder? She actually married a dude who had the last name Wood. So she goes from Calderwood.
Wow. You know what?
All the people.
I met somebody who said they used to be, like, her last name used to be Ford, but then she named married an Old Ford. So her last name's Old Ford now.
That is too much. That is too much. Because I thought she changed it, like, purposely. But no, she just married a guy that had the last name Wood. That was a good fight, man. Santos fucking bapped her and put her on her ass and just beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
She's having the honeymoon slumps because she got the shit kicked out of her with Talia Santos. Let's take a look at Talia here. I know I've seen her fight before. Well, let's just take a look who she is. She lost actually a close split decision. Was her only loss. She's 19-1, Kelly. Lost a close split decision over to Mara Romero Borello. She beat Molly McCann, very tough. She's got a win over Jillian Robertson. She has a big win over. She has a big win over Roxanne Modaferrari, and now another huge UFC vet in Joanne Calderwood Wood. Huge one. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Who the hell was this? Whoa! And the person she lost to is not very good at all. Mara Romero Borella. She's an Italy fighter, 12-9. After that Talia Santos win, she's had 4 losses. That is insane. All in the UFC too. Crazy. Huge win for Talia Santos, and I think at 125 she's going to be knocking on someone's door.
And the only loss is a decision.
Yeah, split decision too.
You don't even know. Like she might have just been sick that day.
Could have been sick. Yeah,
injured. Who knows? But like a decision, it's not as bad as a submission or a knockout.
No, I think having that loss is huge for a lot of people's mental state. You know what I mean? You got it out of the way. Mm-hmm. Got it out of your system. It's not the pressure of, man, what if I lose? Another kind of a snorefest too, Sean Brady, beating Michael Chiesa. Man, has he ever been on a slide ever since, not wanting to fight? Ever since he didn't want to fight Khamzat Chimaev. He's lost 2 fights in a row now, losing to Vincent Luque and losing to Sean Brady. I think his fight against Neil Magny was really a lot closer than a lot of people thought. But a dude who turned down the fight with Khamzat, and he hasn't looked very good since. And Sean Brady's just tough as hell. Undefeated fighter. This guy's going to be the next big rising star. 15-0, fighting out of Pennsylvania. Very, very tough dude. But he didn't really. I don't think he really impressed anybody. I think that's the problem. When you're getting this co-main event shot against Chiesa, who everyone was saying could be the guy next in line. Now, you're supposed to go on and beat the fuck out of him. You kind of held him down. He did a good enough job off, taking his back every time and kind of keeping him there. But other than that, it really wasn't exciting. Main event was good though. Ketlin Viera taking the win over Miesha Tate. She just looked way bigger than Miesha Tate the whole fight too. Tate she was really in there. I think she was really in there. It was a very close fight. It was definitely, I think the scorecards were 48-47. So, I think she just took that third round. I think obviously the judges who went with, that fifth and final round is obviously, I think, in my opinion, what won it. Blowing up Miesha Tate's nose and messing up her eye in the end there, I think is obviously what solidified it. Tate looked good. She was doing some good takedowns. Couldn't really keep her down with the takedowns. But against the bigger fighter, I thought Miesha Tate was very game, very, very tough. Ketlin Viera, a lot of people are saying she's going to be the next champ. And, this is a huge win for her, obviously beating a former champ. And the toughest test to date, obviously, against Miesha Tate as well.
Miesha Tate's always been more of like a people's champ anyway.
For sure.
Especially if you look at her record. It's almost like, she wins 2 fights, loses 1 fight.
Yep. One's the one that counts.
Yeah, but she's always been like in the game, like a scrappy fighter. And I think if she didn't get her face busted up at the end, I think she was trying to be aggressive because I think like her corner's telling her, you play like low in the scorecards or whatever. I think she was trying to be aggressive, and that's one of the reasons she got busted up so bad at the end there. And I think if she didn't, if she was just fighting like she was fighting, it would have been maybe a closer decision.
Maybe,
but I think she still would have lost.
Yeah.
Either way, but I think it would have been closer.
Yeah, I agree. Good fight for her, though. I think people can walk away saying the main event was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and it was a good war. They weren't really, no one was taking a break in that fight, that's for sure. They went awesome for a full 25 minutes. Yeah, it was a really good fight. I definitely enjoyed it. Good for both of them. Ketlin Viera has a huge win, now, coming off the other loss, and, against Yana Kunitskaya, and, getting knocked out earlier in her career, too. She's turning into a star as well, because she's got the size. Yeah. For 135, she's huge. Tough, but to beat a former champ like that in a very a methodical game. I thought they both had some good game plans in this one. No one was really throwing caution to the wind, but they still kept up the pace, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. Well, that about wraps up the show, man. Good show. Getting underneath our belt here. Feel good this week. I had just a break week, from everything really. I just slept in, didn't do a whole hell of a lot, just relaxed at home. And like I said, I had a bit of anxiety this week just with everything going on in our neighborhood and shit like that. So I just wanted to really just, get as much sleep as possible. And I did just exactly that. Want to give a special shout out to everyone out there listening, especially the Spotify peeps. Loving the Spotify. Everyone tuning in week after week. We love you all. Getting it done for you. Whether you're listening to us in your headsets, in your car radio, or at work on the stereo, annoying all your coworkers, I encourage you. Yeah. Check us out on Twitter @AndNewPodcast for when the latest episodes are dropped. And without further ado, for producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the And New Podcast.